Our guest made history with a little show called Jersey Shore when it premiered on MTV on December 3rd, 2009. She is one of the most iconic reality show stars of all time, and that launched her into stardom, that show. Not only is she a reality star, but she's also a mom, an advocate, a fashionista, a writer, a filmmaker, but is also the spokesperson for the one and only Too Good and Company pouches, which we're going to talk all about. The one and only Jenni JWoww Farley. Welcome to the show.
I don't know how to proceed after that. I feel so gassed up right now. That was so iconic. Thank you.
I got to tell you, I mean, truly, I was rewatching Jersey Shore over the 4th of July holiday, and it is just truly one of the most iconic reality shows of all time. And I can't imagine in 2009 that you would ever think all of these years later that you would be here, you'd be a mom, you'd actually be recommending things for parents to try out with their kids like Too Good and Company. It's got to blow you away, right?
Mind is always blown. It's so surreal. I mean, back then God only knows what I was drinking in season nights at 4 a.m. And now I am, I'm really into health and nutrition, especially for my children. So to partner with a company that I've been using for years, like Too Good, is also insane to me because, I don't look at myself in the way that you just explained me, because I'm just me. I'm
You're a
not
real
like
person.
a singer. Yeah, I'm not an actor. I can't act for anything. But to me, I'm just me. So to be able to work with brands like Too Good is so surreal because I'm just a fan of how good of quality that they make, especially for my children. They love it. You can't deny something when your children love it.
Well, I have a lot of moms that listen to this show, and I'm not lucky enough to have a child yet, but I think it really is interesting. You've been so open in regards to being a mother and raising your kids. And I have to imagine it is really hard to find things with like high quality, real fruit, actual ingredients in these things to actually share with your kids. Because I know me, I'll just go to fast food or something. But when you have kids, you have to watch out for their health. So things like this really help, right?
100%. And I don't know if it was just because I was growing up and when you get older, you get more conscious about the things that you're putting in your system, or if it had to do with the children, or the fact that you can just see it and feel it. Like my kids, if they have fake sugar or they have soda or they have something like ice cream, you can just see the disaster that's waiting to happen. So you want to really find that balance. And Grayson ran away, but he just like took you and
By the
took
way,
off.
if you're listening to this, not seeing it, she just held up 2 of the pouches, which by the way, I
Yes.
want to let people know out there, there's all of these kid-approved flavors. You got pear
Yeah.
berry, strawberry banana, peach mango. And do you ever steal these from your kids or
All
it's
the
just
time. They're phenomenal for pre-workouts too. So back to me, like I'm trying to be healthy too for my children so I can keep up with them. So I actually take a pouch before I work out and it gives me just the extra boost that I need without the sugar and it has the real fruit. So there's just like this full circle moment that I don't know how old you are and I don't want to assume, but like after 30,
oh,
I
it's tough.
still,
It's
yeah,
tough.
it's tough and you have no choice but to look for higher quality items because you're hurting if you don't. Like I just went out this past weekend and when I tell you it is going to take me 5 to 8 days to recover. Like I don't even know if
Yeah.
it's worth it to go out the way that I used to anymore because you have to take forever to recover.
Oh, I mean, completely. Like I said, I was rewatching that. I mean, the iconic "Where's the Beach" episode with Nicole Snooki, and I just thought, oh my god, the fact that you lived these moments that we keep, and at this point, we can't go back to those days. Like
No.
we can't go back. And I would imagine when your kids see young mommy on the television and how you used to go, that is a very good promotion for Too Good and Company. Like this is what you need to stay away from that dark, dark path.
Yes, and also, it was so sad over the past weekend that I noticed that the club life and the life like that doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
Cell phones, technology, and people so worried about like how they look and how they're perceived. They're not even enjoying the atmosphere like we used to. And I
No.
always tell my kids, like, you'll never experience that life the way that I did.
Yeah.
But also, part of me doesn't want them to. I'm like, you got to be the healthier version. You have to take care of yourself. You cannot black out at 4 in the morning in Seaside like mommy did. Like, I'm trying to set them up for a better life than I had.
Well, it is interesting, obviously we still see you with Jersey Shore Family Vacation and we get to keep up with you, but so many of you are moms and dads now. Like I interviewed Mike, the situation a while back for his book, and just to see him as a father and like when I watch those shows, it is so it's so heartening and amazing to watch you guys I mean, you're deeply in this phase of life, which is the natural progression. So it's really awesome. I also just want to remind people too, these things have 30% less sugar, like you were talking about. So for like
Yeah.
a kid's yogurt, this is a good source of protein, calcium, vitamin D. Adults can have it. And I'm going to put the link. So if you want to know where to get it, you can find, because it's in Targets and places like that.
Yeah.
See, back then you would have been pushing like, I don't know, like alcohol. And now it's this amazing, healthy brand.
I'm pushing too good. And it really came from like an organic joint relationship with them because we've had this in our house. I've gone to the yogurt section, like you said, at Target and places. I've purchased them. My kids love them. Our favorite is the mango, the peach mango. So when it just comes down to it, like you can't go wrong with something wholesome and kid friendly
Yeah.
and kid approved. My son just he ate too many, but he had like 4 today and he loves them. And there's something about that, especially with my children who are so picky when it comes to food, so picky that I can rely on companies like this to help with like snack time, school, after school, sports. Like it's just so well rounded.
I was thinking about, I was talking to my girlfriend and we were talking about kids. And obviously, there are so many amazing things I would imagine about being a mother. But obviously, one of the hardest things, feeding your children, feeding the right things, like we said. What are the other challenges for you that you have faced that has turned out to be some of the most rewarding challenges?
Everything. Every single thing. So when you have infants, they always say it's going to get easier in the next stage and the next stage, and it doesn't get easier, it just gets different. Every stage is a challenge. I'm right now where I have a preteen daughter who likes what she likes. She thinks she's 20, but she's not 20. She's 11. I have a son that's 9 that thinks he's going to be the next Cristiano Ronaldo, but he has no fear and trying to just guide to kids in this world is hard enough. And then you have all the obstacles, right? You have technology. It's like, how much screen time should they be allowed to have? Is it too much? Is it not enough? Because you also get the problem where if kids don't have screen time, then they're alienated in school. Then, they don't want to be the kids that don't know the viral songs or the show that's number one. So you have to find this balance, especially with my daughter who is introverted like me and shy where she doesn't want to feel left out, but I have to put like a pause on certain things, like you're not old enough for this, you're not old enough for this, but she's like, Mom, but my friends are watching it, and then like, I'm not gonna be cool like them. Everything you can do as a parent is wrong. I say that, but as long in the kids' eyes, completely wrong. And I always tell my kids, one day you're gonna look at me and you're gonna be like, oh wow, thank you. Because I say I'm not supposed to be your friend, I'm supposed to be your parent. So everything you do in their eyes is gonna be wrong. But as
Yeah,
long
I mean, you said in an interview, parenting doesn't end at age 18. You're going to be a parent when these kids are in their 70s.
Yeah. One of the funniest things and most wholesome things I saw on my show was during the Alien episode where we were getting pranked. And I had a feeling that it was a prank, but Sam didn't. And it was her first day back. And she's in her 30s and she called her mom freaking out. And I looked at that and I was watching and I was like, That is gonna be me one day, and I can't wait for that to be me. Like, I don't want my kids to see at 18 that it's game
Yeah.
over. I want them in their 30s calling me and being like, "Mom, I need you." Like, that's the part of parenting is the best part, is that they believe in your guidance and they believe in you as a parent for help.
And that's gotta be so scary that you've gotta step up your game. You're like, "They are looking to me, so I have to present them with the best options in everything." How do you explain reality television to your kids? How do you explain, "Well, mommy's kind of a star because she did this show." I mean, obviously, they have a relationship with Aunt Nicole, but, like, how do you explain this to your kids?
It's definitely weird and different because it's not like they're 9 and 11 going into it. They've always had like, my daughter was born on television on Snooki and JWoww. So I think for them, I think it's gonna be more weird when it ends, and the cast members are just their aunts and uncles with a camera crew behind them.
Yeah.
My scary thing is explaining the first show, the original. They haven't seen any of that yet. Thank God.
We need to get back to gym, tan, and laundry. Let's
Yeah,
put the cell phones down and just do GTL. Come on.
yes. That's gonna be an interesting conversation where, like you said, where's the beach and Anna Nicole gets arrested and all these crazy things. They have
You're a
not.
praying mantis? Come on. I mean, like,
Yes.
iconic things that we grew up with.
Thank baby Jesus they don't know about that stuff yet. But family vacation, they're just kinda like, "Oh, cool. My mom's on TV," but you also have to understand, my kids don't even watch TV.
I
They
know.
YouTube and s
YouTube.
so
I
they're "What do you mean there's commercials?" Like, they have no comprehension of what a commercial
I
is.
know my niece and nephew, that's all they watch is YouTube, and I try to explain, "No, come on, TV is where it's at."
Yes.
Trying to get them to explain, like, the history of reality television, and I'm just like, "This is wild where things are going." At least we
Yep.
can all agree that the Too Good and Company pouches are the way to go, no matter what age. I wanna throw that in there again. Would you be willing to continue on reality television for the next 20 years if you could?
Oh, I would be honored, to be able to work with your friends, your castmates, and your family. I feel like it's such a privilege that I am gonna be devastated when it's over.
Who's the next out of the Jersey Shore core that should be having a kid that we can, feed these pouches to?
Well, Sam actually is due this month or next month. So
What about Vinny? Are we anywhere near fatherhood with Vinny?
he does not need a kid. He does not need a kid. Um, Angelina is, I think, trying.
Yeah.
I always say if you're not ready, don't do it because, like, there is nothing easy about having children.
It
Nothing easy about it.
I can't even imagine, and my mom passed a couple of years ago, but we were so close, and I still even in her like, I'd just be like, "How did you do this? How did you
Yeah.
raise me and my sister?" And it was just a different time, but my gosh, so I really look up to you as a mom and everything. I was, like, going and reading past interviews and just how involved that you have to be in your children's lives, and you just seem to be there for your kids. Um a couple more things before we leave. Like I said, I read Mike's book a couple of years ago, and it really told us like the behind the scenes of what he was struggling with.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like he was hiding so many secrets from the cast and from production. Did that blow you away to hear some of those stories, or was that like, no, we all kind of knew?
So I do believe he spoke about a few times that we tried to call him out. One thing is, it's such a fine line because we never physically saw it, but
Yeah,
we knew something was wrong. So it's like, how do you say in front of a production of like 300 people watching you something that might be crazy wrong? Like, what if we get this wrong? And what if we get canceled? Not even from TV, from production. What if they're like, how dare you accuse somebody of this? And it's not the problem. You know what I mean? So it's such a concentrated bubble. We all knew he was struggling with something. We couldn't physically see it until the show was already over, and it was so unfortunate and it broke my heart. But honestly, and I say this treading lightly, I'm glad he went through that because it truly made the person he is today, which I don't believe what those without those hard struggles that he had to live with, that he would be as strong
Yeah.
and a father and the husband and the person he is today without going through like that those trenches. Like he went through war, an internal war and battle that he really deserves the accolades and the flowers that he gets today. Where if he didn't, I don't know where he would be right now. I don't know where any of us would be. So I always look to the past as a learning lesson, and he had a really tough one, but it was worth it.
I think that's why you guys are iconic. You all stuck together in some form or another, and I think you have a lot of trust from the audience. Like, when I see you
Yeah.
guys, there's overwhelmingly great feelings because I know what you've gone through. What did you learn the most? Because you said we all have to learn something, we all have to go through something. What have you learned in your experience over these years?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, it I feel like the first coming back was a second chance I never knew that we were gonna be able to have, and to not take things for granted. I think for the first Jersey Shore, we took a lot of things for granted, and we didn't absorb what we were going through. In those years that we did that show, I never realized who I was until years after. We never stopped to smell the roses. We never, at least for me, I never absorbed like the potential that I had. I never understood that I was even had a little bit of fame, and I never enjoyed it. It was
Because it
always
happened so quick.
it did, and it was so anxiety ridden and it was crazy and then it was over. So with family vacation, I just always take a step back and I just like absorb everything. And I try and appreciate it even if it's a small scene or it's a huge one or even going to like the Dexter premiere that I just went to. Like I
Yeah.
wrote Chris McCarthy like in tears thanking him for that beautiful opportunity because I'm a super fan of Dexter.
Is the new series.
So good. So good, but, like, I wouldn't have that opportunity if I wasn't on the show, so, like, I take these opportunities with grace and, like, gratitude, where before I didn't, and it was just harder for me back then, but now it's just I enjoy every aspect of life that it's giving me.
Well, I have to let you go. I could talk to you all day, but I also just didn't even get to. You're a writer and director as well. I mean, I didn't even get to talk about that. So I'm so excited to see Nanny Cam. But I want to remind people the reason that she is here today, the reason that we are lucky to speak to her at all is because of Too Good and Company pouches. I'm going to put all of the information in the show notes. And seriously, I have a lot of mothers. Go check this brand out. This is good for your children. And like you can steal it from your kids and it's good for you as well. But like, let's focus on the children here. And hopefully one day we will get to talk to Jenni Farley again. But my gosh, just as a reality show viewer for so long, I was looking forward to this for a very long time. So congrats on all your continued success. And I really do hope we get to talk again someday.
Thank you so much. This was incredible. I greatly appreciate you today.